All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chuck was ship-shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of 8 in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll take a great deal for you.
Eye-patch and rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show. Oh.
We're back.
Yeah, we made
I
it.
think.
Yeah, I'm hoping Frank Juarez got in. He's having trouble hooking up with us out of Facebook, and we're trying to get him worked in there. And hey, Ian, how you doing? Melissa, all are still rolling in. But I was just talking with Josh on the phone a little bit ago, and he says, "What is going on with silver?" And I said, "Well, it's kind of stuck. It's not climbing. It's bouncing between 21 and 23. The spot market is open overseas right now, and I just had that up on here, and actually it's down to 22.68 right now. Gold dropped $5, and that's current. I don't know if you can see this or not, if it reads backwards. It's not doing well. Not doing well. Oh, well. But that's the Kitco. I got the Kitco app. I pay close attention to gold spot, things like that, and silver. So it's soft. But Josh made the point. He's trying to get things for the show occasionally, and he bids average circulated, and it's people are bidding well over spot. And I don't know what to tell you, because normally the silver and gold market has some ties to things throughout the world, and gold, especially with India and China, they kind of got like a buying season. In India, truthfully, it's the wedding seasons, and they go out and they build the dowries up for the gals, and they buy a lot of gold to lavish them with, and it literally will push the market up. Silver, on the other hand,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah, and silver, on the other hand, it all depends upon supply and demand. If that supply falls off and the demand goes up, I just saw a thing, one guy, a dealer, talking about silver demand is down. And I don't see where it's down by the buyers of coinage. Now, maybe it's down
Right, yeah.
rounds and stuff, but I don't see it in the coinage. Coinage, U.S. coin, constitutional coinage is still up there good. So, hey, Frank's in the house. And Scott Wall's in here. They're rolling in heavy now. So, you know, as detectorists, the favorite find is get out and get some silver. And then if you get gold, all the better. So, but the spot market on gold is strong. It's going to continue to be strong with the way the world's in now. Keep an eye on stuff. I'm not telling you to go out and buy a lot of silver coinage. If you would happen to come across an estate sale and you make a good buy, I'd be picking it up.
I'd be buying it up and stacking it away.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can tell you, like right now, I'm seeing calls going for 2.5 times spot.
Wow.
On dimes. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like say 2 weeks ago, probably as short of amount of time as 2 weeks ago, I was able to pick up silver quarters all day long. You know, $2.50, $3.50, maybe even $4 a piece. Now I'm seeing them going for $6, $7, $8, $9. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know it. I know it. And that may be people trying to stack because there's dire warnings on our dollar not going to make it and stay the standard in the world. So that could devalue it. And we've got enough problems as it is. And then,
oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, I'm not a broker, not a dealer, but I will tell you this much, having a little of it tucked away, especially the smaller denominations. And this was explained to me why they trade easier. Dimes, quarters, halves. They trade easier.
Right. And that's not just in silver. I mean, that's, you know, what, 10 years, 10, 12, maybe even a little further back. That's what drove the popularity of fractional gold up.
Mm-hmm. Now you pay a higher.
So it's the same way with gold.
You pay a higher price by the gram.
Yeah,
gold.
You will pay a premium for the fractionals.
You'll pay higher premiums on grams, tenths, and on it goes. And but it may trade easier for you in the future if you need to trade it.
It'll absolutely trade easier.
So that's the kind of stuff that's going on. And we'll keep an eye on the market.
That's one of the things that actually drove the popularity of fractional gold was back when, what was it? I think if you sold more than, maybe it was like $600 of gold in one shot, that's when the paper trail started. And that's what drove that popularity in fractional gold, because you could sell off fractional gold and stay under the radar.
Some of the states,
some states still accept gold.
Yes, they
as
do.
The barter.
Yep.
I mean, they've got, well, and you know, they've got the scale right there behind the counter.
I've traded in gold off and on, especially in Alaska. That was no problem. NorCal.
Yeah.
even locally. Go to a go. Don't go.
Say
Go ahead. Oh,
I was going to say, I want to say, I think there might even be some areas in Oklahoma that still accept gold as trade.
well, there's a lot of places out west that accept it for trade. And I've done a lot of trade in gold and silver on detectors, firearms in the past, and other things. Traded. Guys come in and brought me gold, enough gold. They walked out with new detectors, and I'm not talking cheap ones. They brought a lot of good gold in. I check it. I have a test kit, which I have to renew. I'm out of stuff almost. So, but yeah, gold trades easily. Even here, the local pawn, the place that's got the big sign up that says "We buy gold." For the most part,
don't go there.
don't go there. They're working on 20% to 25% in their pocket when they deal with you. And if
absolutely, they got to make their money too.
Yeah, I've had goldsmiths buy the fine gold that I've gotten because they melt it and reuse it, and they're paying me just a shade under spot, which is fine because most of it's 88 to 90%. So,
right,
the metals involved. So, I've done that several times. In fact, I've had one contact me a couple times because he liked what I was getting him.
Well, and the crazy part, I've even had people messaging me the past few days wanting to know if I've got any coins or scrap jewelry that I'd be willing to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not a seller. I'm a stacker.
Yep. So just, and most people are picking it up. I've seen a couple of them say they're stacking. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt.
No.
But that's the caveat there, is there's so many people with it tucked away. Back in 1980, when the Hunt brothers tried to pull their "we're going to corner the market" thing on gold and silver, more came out than they could even imagine, and meteoric rise of silver and gold at that point. It caught them, and then they got caught in some illegal trading with it and things like that. That's the rise and fall of it. But man, there for a while, I literally
they were awful close to cornering the market.
They were. I
mean, that was the great silver melt. Silver, what was that? $42, $44 now.
It touched 50.
Might even hit 48.
Yeah, it touched 50 briefly, and then that's where the crash occurred. Right after that, it went down as sharp as it went up.
Right, bottom just fell out.
But those using some common sense, I literally saw guys, a buyer down in Davenport, coin company down there, was giving pretty good money, and you didn't have connectivity. You didn't know where a smelter or a buyer was, other than local stuff at that time, and they were paying good money on it. And I saw guys standing in line with bags cashing that out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they weren't taking in handfuls. They were taking in pounds.
They were taking in pounds. Yeah. You know, family had a bunch of silver put away, and we're going to get our money out of it. But there was some really nice silver antiques go in and get melted.
Yeah. It didn't just affect the coins. The silver antiques, the silver jewelry, all of that. I mean, it was all going to melt at that point, and that's actually people that are big into numismatics, that's actually what drove the value of some of the coins up.
That's right. Yeah, we got more rolling in. Hey, Richard Kruckmeyer, how you doing? Barb's in the house. Yeah, Tom Kingery's in there. So, but, I always told myself if it would, in 2011, I sold a bunch of gold, silver, not a bunch of gold. It went up real well in 2011, and I sold to a private buyer twice, two different guys, and I wasn't getting anything less than 3 1/4 a dime at that time, which was above spot. It got up around 30, 32, 33, and I was getting 3 1/4, maybe a little better on dimes. That's our most often found silver is a dime.
Wow. Well, yeah.
But that,
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. You figure the halves, the dollars, the quarters, they still turn up now and then in detecting, but they don't turn up as often as the dimes do. And a big reason for that is that the larger silver was easier to find.
that's right. Cleaned up quicker.
Yeah, exactly. It sure went in my pouch awful quick whenever I could find it.
So that's what's going on with silver, and for those of you out there, if you ever want to track it, you get a nice app out of Kitco, and they're one of the leaders out there in the field. And now we're down 12 cents on silver. Since we started talking, we were down 8. Now we're down 12. Platinum's down $1, and the spot market is open overseas. So, and if you can go from ounce, and you can see what gram, like gold right now, ask on it, 65.38 a gram. Silver, 72 cents. Ask is 73 a gram. Now there's 31.1 grams to an ounce. So you can figure it up and find out what your stuff's doing.
And there's very handy apps out there for that, like Coinflation.
Yep. And that'll tell you what you can sell a silver dime, 64 and earlier for. It calculates, you'd say you got 10 dimes and you put it in there, and it'll be Chris Gibson, Kitco, Kitco.
Yeah, that is one of the best sources for if you're big on following the market price and everything. That is one of the best sources to use. They are usually the most up to date and the most reliable, and usually some of the other apps that you see reflecting spot price of gold, silver, platinum, they're pulling that directly from Kitco. So Kitco's got it first a lot of times.
Yeah. So, you got 90% silver in a dime. Your smelter is going to keep 10%. So you get 80 cents.
Well, the quality ones.
The quality ones. And if you go into We Buy Gold, you might get 60 cents. If you're lucky, 55 cents on the dollar on its melt value. So you can kind of figure it from there.
Right. So those that, if they're lucky enough to have any fractional gold, like say a gram bar, it'd be real easy to figure out what that thing's worth if you feel like you have to get off of it.
Right.
But it's also a great way to get rid of the odds and ends, the bits and bobs, the broken pieces of jewelry that we find out in the field.
Yep.
As long as you've got a decent enough scale and you can, test
Yeah.
it for purity.
Yep. So it's informed selling. You should know what you're dealing with, and it's good to stay informed, keep an eye on it, and it's a hedge against your inflation.
Right. And you definitely want to keep an eye on it because it doesn't take much of a fluctuation sometimes, especially in terms of gold, where if you're a little out of date on that price, you could get raked over the coals if you're buying.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. So, like I said, back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, you didn't have this connectivity. You couldn't push a button on the screen and get up to the minute quotes on precious metals at all. You had to do some phone calling, talk to the local coin shops and things like that. And maybe if you were into gold, you could talk to a goldsmith locally and get some money. But yeah, we should stay informed. And gold and silver are not only driven by demand, world unrest,
World times.
Yep.
World events. And you made a good point earlier too, that the Chinese government actually encourages their citizens to purchase gold.
Yes, they do. Yep, they believe in hard currency. And
well, I can't blame them there.
No. And if you talk to at least 70% of the Americans today, they've got some silver and they got some gold, maybe stats. Hey, Marcia's, how you doing? And we'll see what happens. Ian, world peace. I believe in that too, but
sometimes, though, it's hard to get everyone, in the same book, let alone the same page.
Right.
I'll put it that way.
Right. ORH is stacking iron. Nothing wrong with that either, because scrap iron, copper, brass, that's all went up. Just keep an eye on it.
Absolutely.
Even lead.
Something and some of us find plenty of that out there detecting.
Yep. I generally give mine to Frank to he likes to make his jig heads and stuff.
Right. Make his own
he gets the lead,
I'm sure.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure he appreciates that, especially at the price that lead is.
Okay. Even on Kitco, I just rolled it up here. Price per pound on lead, and it's at a pound price, is down a little bit at 97.27. In other words, about $1 a pound. So all this other stuff you dig up, you can turn it in. Copper right now at a pound is $3.81. Nickel 7 1/4. Aluminum 0.9981 cents a pound. So, and if
that's crazy.
Yep. It is.
Wow.
So, and if you find rhodium, you just got yourself a handful of it's right now at an ounce $5,050.
Oh, well, I'll have to break open the safe and get a couple of pounds of that out.
Yep. There, Barb's going to start keeping buckets of everything. If you find some old copper tube and wire and that kind of stuff, the good stuff,
you would be surprised how fast it can add up.
We've got a guy on the club. He collects aluminum cans, copper, everything from the guys, takes it down, gets it melted, and it goes into the club.
Yeah, and especially when you've got a group, like all of the club members contributing to a cause like that, it doesn't take much to have a pile.
That's right. That's right. And or he's just saying he's got many buckets of separate metals going on. Me, I've got 2 buckets. I throw everything in it, then I'll down, sort it, rinse dirt off, that kind of stuff. I do turn in copper and brass, I find.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a little while.
And if you get on an old spot, red brass is even more valuable.
Yeah. Got a higher copper level, doesn't it?
Yeah, if I remember right.
But I know a lot of guys that do a lot of side scrapping, do pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Yeah. Ian says, Canslaw finally paying off. Actually, yeah, it does. I mean, all that stuff adds up, and I know of plenty of people that, they'll take that into the scrapyard, whether it's lead, aluminum, whatever, and that may pay for their gas to attend an event, or maybe it even pays for their registration fee for an event.
That's right.
New pinpointer, new digger, whatever.
I mean,
it all adds up.
You can squeeze a little more money out of what you're doing out there.
Yeah. Yep. And I used to quite a bit. I would take, because, we find pull tabs everywhere. And I would bring them home, wash them up, throw them in a bin, and take them in and donate them to charity.
Good. I mean, the king be in grocery stores were doing a lot of it. They aren't doing much of it.
Right.
We're having our intermittent back and forth losing each other.
Yeah, it happens a little bit still, but I still say that should rectify itself pretty good once your internet's updated.
Yeah.
Or at least we'll know at that point whose end it's on.
Yeah, there you go. It's probably this end. I mean, it's acting up.
Right.
Travis said he sold his pop cans Friday at 52 cents a pound. And, if it's 99 cents a pound, by the time you sell it off, then the buyer takes it to wherever he's going with it. And, that type of stuff. Right. That probably wasn't too bad, 52 cents a pound. It takes a lot of cans to make a pound, though. Holy smokes.
Yeah, 52 cents a pound ain't bad. It's nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, if you've got 100 pounds of cans, well, right there's $52.
And Jason says they're giving $300 plus for an old car for scrap.
Well, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up on everything.
Yeah. We had
not just silver and gold.
We had an old guy in town. He passed away a couple of years ago, but that's all he did was scrap. And he loved it if you had batteries, the old lead acids. If you didn't have, turn them in when you traded your batteries, and you'd see him go by. He had his truck full. He had a pickup truck bed trailer. He had everything strapped down once, twice a week. And he made pretty good money. He made real good money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to, what's that been, 30 years ago or so, I used to do a lot of scrapping like that, and it was a nice little side income, and that was at prices 30 years ago.
Yep.
I can only imagine what it'd be now.
And Celeste just told everybody it takes 33 cans to make a pound.
Well, there's days where when we're out there we find that many. Unfortunately.
Yep. So other ways to make a buck with that detector, you know.
Yeah. I mean, all that trash in the pouch, it's, you know, treasure once you get the dirt washed off of it, in a sense. Nothing wrong with that.
So anyway, yep, and silver, we'll see what's happening with it. It's been kind of crazy on the silver being down. And we'll see how that goes. You can't predict it very well.
No. It's hard to try and project it. Definitely. Everything it's just it's too volatile.
Yeah. Well, it's like any commodity trading, whether it be pork belly or silver, you know. If you could predict it, we'd all be millionaires.
Right? Yeah. It's all worth something to someone. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah. Reading here, Mike's going to do some checking this week at the place he picks his silver up. See what he's getting for it. Yep. So keep your eyes.
Mike usually gets a pretty good price.
And I don't know, any of you guys do coin roll hunting? Occasionally that pays off too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've seen where they'll go through a box of halves and they'll find a run somewhere in that box of silver halves where, somebody got into mom and dad's coin collection, or maybe not necessarily getting into the coin collection, but things got tough for somebody, so they decided to cash some in, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jason, he was talking about cores coming in, used to buy their aluminum cans directly. As a kid, we used to pick up pop bottles and get a nickel a piece for them. Gather them up.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Well, Iowa still pays on a lot of their cans a nickel recycled. You're paying it when it goes out, you get paid back a nickel per can to recycle it to them.
Yeah.
They can't
and
rush.
A lot of areas, right. And a lot of areas like that did that to, I think it was kind of their way to deter littering. Because people want to go ahead and keep a hold of it when it's worth something.
One of our Facebook users says they've tried coin roll hunting. Local banks, they had no success. Over $500 worth of quarters, halves, dimes, nickels, not one silver found.
Yep. It happens like that. I mean, it's feast or famine sometimes. You could have a run like that where you don't find any, and then all of a sudden, maybe, who knows, maybe you hit a roll of silver quarters.
You just don't know. Just don't know. I've done the coin roll hunting thing, and most of what I found, some silver dimes, 1 or 2 quarters, and a lot of 40% silver. I've never found a lot of silver halves. Like I've seen some guys break a roll open and they got 4 or 5 halves in that roll alone. Some of them,
yeah, exactly.
Like a little barber in there.
Right. Yeah, I've seen it like that. And even, well, I hear about it too. People that check the coin stars, they're like, I've never found any silver in a coin star, but it does happen.
It
I
does.
mean, I've found it. I know Mike has found it. There's a few of us out there, and some people seem to find it on a fairly consistent basis.
Regular basis, but they've got certain banks that they've learned to go to, and most of them aren't within a larger town. They go out to outlying banks. Farther out you can get to a small bank, it's better, and they'll go in and say, you got any halves? Right. And, fresh rolls come in, whatever, and they'll just trade them out, and generally they'll hit something.
Yeah, and sometimes if you're in good with your bank tellers, they'll even, if you're in good enough with them, maybe they'll set them off to the side for you when they see them.
Yeah.
Anymore, though, you got to be in pretty good with the bank tellers, I think, to get that to happen.
RHG says, our local Coinstar has so many fingers in the return slot that you'll be lucky not to pull out back a bloody stub.
Right.
Everybody running in the door checking that one. So
yeah. Yep. Somebody's going to want that back.
So, yep. I've found bills. I found silver certificates and change. Of course, $2 bills.
Oh, yeah. $2 bills,
like star notes. But I bought like 10 rolls of quarters, sat down and went through them and got one silver quarter. I think I did the same with halves. And I got several of the 40%ers. Nothing else.
Right.
So, and the way they roll them now, some of them come out there in a semi-clear plastic.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm quite sure they're scanning them as they get them out.
I would be.
Uh-huh.
I would be.
Makes it easier.
Yeah, we got all sorts of them in the YouTube chat tonight.
Yeah, we got a lot of people in the house. That's good. I'm going to step away for a minute. I got a call that's coming in on the phone here.
All right. Well, let's see how many people are paying attention while Chuck's away taking care of the phone. Let's see how many people are paying attention over on the YouTube side, because I know we've got the mods in there and everything. Let's see if we can keep Tam busy. Let's go ahead and we'll throw out a silver dime tonight, since we're talking about, fractional silver and gold, and see who's interested. If you're interested, just put down, I want the silver dime. And maybe Tam can catch your name in the chat there, and we'll draw a name here in a few minutes. And we'll see how that goes. We'll see who's paying attention. Nope, no numbers. No numbers. Just, yeah, there you go. There you go. And make sure and give Tam a chance to catch everything. I know I did see her in the chat. So hopefully she's in there and she can grab the names. It'll give her something to do. As if she doesn't have enough to do as it is. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. And I know when we were on Wednesday, I had realized it right there at the end of the show, and the way the days fell, today obviously was the Next Chance Live. So happy belated birthday to both Phil and Tam.
Yep.
Both of them are Groundhog Day babies. And I still say we're still going to have 6 more weeks of winter regardless.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got some nice weather coming your way yet. They're talking pretty
Yes,
nice.
we do.
Pretty little chance of rain one day or two, and pretty nice through this entire next week. One day they said we could get a snow mix type thing, and this is a nice break. Real nice. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I
what's
figured
coming?
I'd let them roll on a silver dime and let Tam take the names and see maybe we can announce the silver dime winner before the end of the show.
There you go.
And speaking of winners, Kevin Barkley should have received his copper round now, and Frank received his package. He
Oh,
needs
I
to
did.
get back to me too and let me know if that package is acceptable.
Yeah. Don once says they're getting hammered with rain.
Oh my.
Yep. So I saw.
But yes, Go ahead,
Phil.
Chuck.
Phil says he got named after a groundhog. He wants the silver dime. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, I guess can't argue with that.
Yep. Justin McGee down in Atlanta says it's been raining there all day. So,
Wow.
Yep. ORH, Puxatonic, Phil Bortner.
Yep. It's a wonder Phil doesn't try to say they named the groundhog after him.
Could have. But
Well, they do share some common ground. They both like to burrow, dig.
can't argue that.
Right? They were out, I guess Phil and Shannon were out digging the other day. Said that they were just a muddy mess by the time they were done. I can understand that.
Well, Phil just put on there, he says he's not that old. Close, but not that old. Okay.
That's all right, Phil. If you ask some people, I probably was around to name the groundhog.
Okay, Shannon, she's got a question on her Knox. She's losing charge quickly. Never been in the water, not seeming to charge right. Any ideas? Well, believe it or not, those batteries do wear out. I don't know how long you've had that, was it 2 years? And they have replacement batteries, and yes, you can replace it yourself. You just have to be careful with making sure your seals get back in. And I think a new battery's in the $40 range, 30 to 40.
Yeah, the replacement batteries for the Noxes really are not priced all that bad. I mean, that's not bad, especially as long as you feel comfortable with it. That's a repair that you can do yourself, especially if you've already had it long enough that it's out from under warranty. And there are YouTube videos online that will walk you right through it.
1 year on a battery on those machines. I've got guys that have ran the same battery for 5 years, and I had a gentleman that he's bought 2 batteries, and he's had the machine 4.5 years. He's had to replace them every 2 years. So not many of them, but yeah, they're replaceable. There's even a video on the MyLab site on how to replace that battery.
Right. Good grief. I don't know how she does that. She just posted up a whole slew of names from the YouTube chat.
I see that.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of names. Everybody wants a piece of silver, apparently.
Well, sure. If I could, Shannon, if that battery's over 1 year old, you can send it
and
in.
it would be.
Yeah, at that particular portion is out of warranty. They would put a new battery in if you request it. And by the way, folks, Mine Labs Warranty Repair Center has moved. It is now in Chicago. All of it's being done in Chicago.
Nice. And yeah, you're right. She could send that into Mine Lab, but she would have to pay for the repair.
Right. So you can call them. They got the 1-800-HELP Lab line, and talk to them and see what they say. Frank, I don't know what happened to PA, but they just made this announcement 2 weeks ago that everything moved to Chicago. They've got technicians in-house now, and 100%, all of it's done there.
They figured they had to get away from all that groundhog traffic.
Must be. So, Shannon, if go ahead.
I want to say I'm pretty sure that they won their Equinox at Swing Into Summer.
Mm-hmm. I think they did. And that's a couple years
the
back.
battery is no longer covered. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the battery would no longer be covered. But I mean that's all on what you're comfortable with. Maybe you want to send it in and have it all checked over anyway. Maybe there's something else going on there, but like we said, the battery itself is not that expensive. There's YouTube videos that will walk you through it, and I'm sure you guys could get it done.
Right. So,
I mean,
and
it's
made
15-minute repair, maybe.
Right. You can have after warranty work repairs done in PA, but I don't know how long that's going to last either.
Good point.
John Ramoska just said
I'm not sure.
$300 in rolls of halves, and he did not get one silver.
Not even a 40%er. Wow. But here's the beauty of that. When you're doing the coin roll hunting, as long as you've got the extra cash on hand to get the rolls, if you didn't find anything, you're not necessarily out anything but a little bit of your time, because you've still got those coins. You can take them back into the bank. Might want to take them to a different bank, but you can take them back to the bank. Because I know some of the banks, at least around here, if they suspect that's what you're up to, they get a little fussy with you.
Yeah, they do.
So you got to kind of switch them around, pick them up from one bank, deposit them at another.
Right.
Or cash them in at another.
I can get you a battery. It'd take a little bit right now, but I can get you a battery. If it's not holding the charge at all, that type, so we can try and get your battery sent to you. And I'm sure Phil could change it. I mean, they got, like I said,
no doubt.
On the website, there is a video on how to do the battery.
Right. And that is literally a walkthrough video.
Yep.
I mean, if we could get a monkey to watch the screen long enough, he could probably change it.
Yep. So, in fact, I think over at the shop, I have a brand new battery in stock. And if you want to give me a call tomorrow, in fact, I'm sure of it. We just did inventory and had one left. I generally keep 2 to 3 on hand.
Yeah, and like you said, they may last a little longer sometimes, but usually you're looking at 2 to 3 years probably before you're looking at any sort of battery degradation.
Right. Somebody on Facebook, because I don't see your name. It just says Facebook user. I had a friend get me the Garrett A.T Pro Z-Link. Do I need to get a different set of headphones or earbuds or something as well? On the headphones, I don't know which model you have. There is a A.T Z-Link set of headphones that you have to pair with that. That's the best I can tell you right now. Okay.
Yeah, may have to do some further looking in.
Right. Yeah, give me a call tomorrow, Shannon, somewhere after 9 o'clock, and we'll try to get you a battery. So,
well, and I mean, as long as they're available, it wouldn't take long to get one to her, I'm sure.
No. And I know I've
especially if you've got one in the shop.
Yeah, we got one in the shop and I can replace. I'll try and get over here, pick it up, and get it mailed off to her. So we'll get that. Hello, Lauren. How you doing? So, yeah, that's about it.
Well, at least you're not telling her the battery's not. At least you're not telling her the battery's not bad. It's the shipping that's going to be killer.
Yeah, that's true. Ron's in for shock when I get to Aruba. Because I was sitting there.
You're probably counting down the days.
Yeah, Saturday. So, Saturday, Janet. And
going to be some good times.
I hope so. Hope everybody stays calm for 2 weeks so I can get down there and back. You know.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be okay.
It's like Russia telling the Republic of Texas, secede, we'll back you. And that actually happened, folks.
Yeah, I don't see where that's going to have any influence on their choice.
No. So,
just saying. I mean, Texas likes to do what they want to do.
One other thing I saw tonight. Out in Oregon, they have 3 big hydroelectric dams that power 80% of the state. Our president is trying to get a bill passed to shut them down. The cleanest form of electricity we have, and
and we're going to shut it down.
We're going to shut it down. And that was on the news tonight.
That is an absolutely brilliant idea. Why haven't we thought of that before?
Right.
Seething with sarcasm.
Right. So, gotta love it. We've got a year left of this idiot.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's one way to look at it for sure. I mean, some areas have a village idiot, but we put ours in the White House.
Russia back? Yes, that was released at a Russian official, one of the high rankers, contacted the governor of Texas and said they would back Texas if they wanted to succeed.
Yeah, I still don't see where that's going to encourage them one way or the other. I mean,
No.
and this is not the first time we've heard of Texas having their difference of opinion, I guess might be a good way to put it.
Well, it is in the Texas Constitution that they can detach from the United States, and it was signed back in the day to become a free republic again. So,
yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder. Really makes you wonder. We've got a winner, I think.
You're right. So, yeah, I tend to follow this Texas thing pretty close. It's like they've just about got it tied up. They went from thousands to the one day, was it yesterday? This was, the governor held a live news conference at the border today. And he said, well, in the past 3 days, we had 3 get through.
Nuts.
So that's quite a change. But then he was complaining about New Mexico, Arizona, and California. All they're going to do is go around Texas and go on the other open gates.
Unfortunately, yeah, you have a point.
Yep. Barb says she got a new laptop. Cool.
Oh, well, good for her. Good for her. And we've got a silver dime winner.
Oh, who'll be that?
Well, they had to be in the YouTube chat earlier because that's where she was grabbing names from. That's the ones that were commenting. Dave Cruikshank. If you are in the YouTube chat, holler.
He was. In fact, he just posted up there, Dave, you won a dime.
And everyone else can give him a big congratulations. So, Dave, you will have to PM me, because I know you're on Facebook. PM me, Josh Kimmel, with your name and your shipping information. And we get that out in the mail to you. And I'll try to get that out sometime this week or next week. Probably, yeah, I could probably do sometime this week. And I can send you a message and let you know when it ships, but past that, we'll see what happens. I'm probably not going to bother to ship that with tracking or anything. I mean, it's just a dime. We'll take you on your word that it's arrived.
Congrats, Dave.
Congratulations.
Right.
I think I've seen Dave in the chat over here on YouTube before in one of the earlier live streams. So apparently he's still coming back and following things, and that's always a plus because you never know. Lately, the giveaways I've been doing, I've been having them come back and leave a comment after the stream so that we can just do a random comment picker. It makes things a whole lot simpler. But we figured we'd see how things went to getting people ready for the silver stack giveaway.
Yep. That's coming pretty
And
soon.
yeah. Actually, we may let that one loose while you're in Aruba having fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And Jason sounds like he's all excited. He wants to do a Wednesday night with the show.
All right.
I'm not sure when yet, though. We got to see what Wednesday works best for
Okay.
him.
And then once
And
we'll send him a T-shirt.
right. And I still think that I mean, and unless he's just that excited and chomping at the bit, I mean, I'll bring him on anytime, but we may wait until you're back from Aruba to do that one. That way you're right there. You can be the judge as to whether or not he gets his shirt.
Right. You're correct, Barb, by the way, on the last comment. John Ramoska. Dave's address is John Ramoska, Mount Prospect, Illinois. How about that? I don't think so.
I thought that looked familiar.
Yeah. He's having fun. So,
right.
So let's talk about your silver stack you're giving out. How much is in that right now?
That is a Morgan silver dollar, a Walker $half, a silver Washington quarter, and a Mercury dime.
Nice little stack.
Yeah. And actually, I was just talking to Tam tonight. We're going to do something a little different with this one. We're going to run that silver stack giveaway from Mike. Like we did the Copper Meg giveaway, where I'm going to let that run for a couple of weeks, where people will come back and comment on that video after the stream so that they can get themselves entered. But I'm going to throw in a little extra bonus for some people, maybe.
Okay.
Because, unfortunately, to have a winner, we have to have some losers too. But we'll see how well or how receptive to how well or receptive people are to spreading the word. And if someone else comes in and enters that giveaway, if they win, when I get their shipping address for the silver stack from Mike, I'm going to ask them how they found out about the giveaway. And if they happen to find out about the giveaway from someone else that is entered, then that someone else just won a little something too.
Right. Sounds good.
So we'll see how that goes. A little something different, I figure if it works out that way, where somebody else wins, that they heard about it through someone else that had already entered, then the person that they heard it from, I will make sure and announce them on the stream as well, and let them know that they need to get their shipping information to me, and I'll get them out a nice piece of silver. Maybe it'll be a silver quarter, maybe it'll be a silver half, something like that. So they win a little something too.
Right. Let's see. Was it Jason? Yeah, Jason. Those silver bullets have been around for a while, but you can find them on Silvertown web. They make 9mm all the way up to 50 caliber size.
Yeah, I was going to say they actually make them in a number of different sizes too.
Yep.
I can't remember now. I want to say I've even seen them things, up to 5 or 10 ounce.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It seems like, unless that was Oh yeah, they've got a large selection of pretty much everything.
Well, yeah, Silvertown, if you guys don't know, is one of the largest silver smelters in the United States. But they also, and I don't know if any ever watch it, Coin Vault.
Yeah.
Coin Vault, Silvertown.
Right. And if you ever get the opportunity, I mean, I'm sure you can just peruse their website. But if you ever get the opportunity to walk into Silvertown, you might want to do it just for the experience. It is something to see.
They handle a lot of silver and gold. I've never been on their site.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never went over there. I would like to, but they carry a selection huge. And a lot of your coins that dealers get locally from wherever you may be, the cull stuff, if they can't move it, they'll sell it to Silvertown. And it gets melted.
That's right. Oh yeah. Or Silvertown's got it sitting around in there by the buckets.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's a sight to see. It
Someday
is a sight to see. But I would say we covered a little bit about gold and silver. We even gave a silver dime away and announced them. Don't forget, send me that message with your shipping information, Dave. And we've covered that you're anxiously awaiting to depart for Aruba.
Yep. Yeah, I am. Hey, a buddy of mine just signed in, Michael Gatewood. How you doing? So, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We might have some drawings of some of the stuff I dug. Maybe I'll bring a bag full of Corona bottle tops home. We'll give them away.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of them to find out there. And
they like their hopefully Corona there. They like their German beer there. Heineken tops everywhere. And then the stuff.
I can see them being big on Heineken over there.
Don, hopefully, hang on a second, Josh. Don, he's got, what scoop am I taking to Aruba? I actually am taking the Naka 3-in-1. It breaks down. It's in the box. It doesn't cut on anything, tightens up well, and does a pretty dang good job. I like it.
Right. Very portable, lightweight.
For traveling, folks, it's
travel's great, especially if you're traveling abroad like that.
Yeah. The T-Rexes, all those, they're very nice, but they're heavy.
They're a little cumbersome.
So I'm taking one of the 3-in-1s with me, and I've used them a lot. A lot of my friends. Now, we're in the Midwest. We don't get to go out beach hunt every day, and our beaches here have 2 inches of sand and 8 inches of mud underneath. So it doesn't sift out well, wet or dry.
Right. That's the sort of stuff that'll give you Popeye arms.
Right. And Don, go online, Natka 3-in-1 Premier Scoop or whatever they call it. And it's stainless steel. The only drawback...
Yeah, it's a good scoop.
It's a good scoop. The only drawback I found, it uses these solid wing nuts. And you really got to tighten them and you got to check them once in a while because your digging action can loosen them up. Just tighten them up once in a while. You'll be fine. And it has a short handle also if you just work in dry sand. So it's a pretty decent little unit.
And that's one of the things that unit has going for itself is the versatility of it.
Yep. It is very versatile and lightweight.
Yeah. I mean, if you're somebody that...
Oh, excuse me. They're asking me questions, Judge. The Motley scoops are nice sand scoops. I won't knock them.
They are, but they're pricey.
They're pricey. And they're fixed unless you get a carbon fiber shaft, and then it's like 3 feet long. You got to carry it on an airplane. So this one works out while you're traveling about. You're going for a week, 2 weeks. It'll do just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're one of those people out there that you do a lot of beach hunting,
right,
and you would have to be doing quite a bit to justify it, the Anderson Neptune breakdown handle, the 2-piece travel handle, is a extremely nice piece of kit.
Yep.
But you have to ask yourself, can you justify the expense? I mean, like on my Extreme Scoop, I'm running just a 1-piece Neptune handle, and those things are nice. I mean, I'm running it with a Modus Lift Assist, which are similar to the Raptors, and those Neptune handles are super nice. You let go of your scoop in the water, it'll stand straight up like a bobber.
And Jason, you're correct on the Motley sand scoops. I've messed with them. They're great. And there's other ones out there that are great. This fits my need to travel. And
right, the versatility
I go
of
for
it.
a week to 2 weeks a year down on the beaches, and it fills the gap real nice. And because I'm not much of a beach hunter up along the muddy Mississippi River.
And I know of people I know of people around here that they like to go to Florida for vacation once a year, but they don't do enough beach hunting to justify the purchase of scoops, so they usually just come and borrow one off of me for their trip.
Right. And they're 2-piece aluminum, and I've never bent a handle on them. They do a pretty decent job. No, they're not wide. They're 7.5 inches across, but it fits in a suitcase in its box, and the handles lay along the edge, 2-piece. The only thing you want to watch is take the handle apart, clean it, fresh water, get sand, and keep going. But
right,
good.
Yeah, absolutely. And, with people asking about the Motley sand scoops, the Motley dig tools aren't bad either. But they're, again, a little pricey.
I can get the Motley line.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, you're right, Barb. I mean, it's a piece of equipment. If you're doing it every day, you're near the beaches, you're working the beaches, let's say like Steve up in Jersey and hitting those beaches, or Frank, you want something that's really going to last. They're going to go out a lot, and these things are made to do just that. And so is if you take good care of it, the Naka sand scoop. But you get the 2-piece Anderson carbon shafts with the T-handle on it, and you're out there working the water all day long. Terry, Shannon, and all those guys down there. You need to have a real good piece of equipment.
Right. Yeah. When you're a hardcore beach and water hunter like them, you want something that is going to last and put up to the sort of rigorous abuse you're going to put it through.
And believe
me, these guys are finding enough; they can justify the cost.
Right. And shovels, hand tools, that kind of stuff. I sell a ton of them, and I've had Gravedigger. I've had all kinds of different ones in, but you know what? They're nice. They're a little more expensive. They're powder coated. That does wear off, by the way, and things like that. But the Lesh hand tool is still the standard to me in the industry. They stand behind them. They're tough.
Right.
And they do a good job.
Yep. And people may think that they're even a little on the pricey side, but I'll tell you what, you go out to your home improvement store or whatever, and you pick up a garden trowel, and you see how many of those you go through in a season.
Yep.
If you're digging consistently, and it doesn't take very much before you're up to the price of something like a Lesh.
Yep. So, well, bud, about 20 after 8, no, quarter after.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's probably time to go.
yep. And everybody have a safe night, safe week. Get out if you can get out. Some areas are able to get out. I know Shannon and Phil have been out, and I saw some pretty muddy boots in a picture today. So,
Oh, yeah. Well, and speaking of having a safe night, safe travels to you and Jill.
yeah. I'll be on Wednesday if you're around.
Ah, all right. Well, yeah, it's a good possibility as long as I
Goodbye.
can get all of my to-do list out of the way.
Right. Barb, I generally put socks in it. The water socks fold up and fit in there. She's telling me how to pack my scoop full of stuff too. There you go. So anyway, everybody have a safe week. Be careful out there. Good luck in your detecting if you can get out. John, take care, buddy. And Shannon, give me a holler and we'll see if we can get you a new battery installed. That's what I'm guessing it is.
Get that battery straightened out.
Right.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful evening, Chuck. Thanks for dropping in.
Well, thanks for having me. You guys have a safe.
All right. So we did manage to get a winner for the silver dime. Looks like Dave's got a silver dime coming to him. Congratulations once again to Dave. And thanks to everyone for dropping by. Obviously, always a grand old time. And I did see a comment earlier in the chat. It looks like, I think from what I gathered from that, Frank says that his package should work just fine. And that is a good thing. That's what we were hoping for. So, who knows? Maybe I'll have to get in touch with him and see how that's going along. Either way, thanks for dropping by, everyone. Don't forget, check us out again. We will be doing the Silver Stack contest very soon. When? Stay tuned.
We sure are glad you found us here tonight. Thanks for dropping by and joining in. If you like metal detecting, treasure hunting, gold prospecting, or even entertaining discussion, check us out Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, on your favorite podcast distribution services.